Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Surfside, California. It is time for... I got my coffee cup back. I rescued it. The morning briefing. Great to be back with you all. Took a day off yesterday because of the rain and inclement weather. And, you know, it was pretty significant rainfall for Southern California. Of course, tune in tonight for the big floods that are coming. And I know some areas did get flooded, so I don't want to downplay that. But we're through that part of this. However, weather is going to play a very important role as we have some really nasty stuff off in the horizon. I'll talk about that. Of course, our January 6th celebration is right on the horizon. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Some great fishing still south of the border going on. There's so much to talk about and such a great year to look ahead to. 2023, I think, is going to be a really great one. All right, everybody, if you don't mind, you've been doing it all year long. I don't even have to ask anymore, but pound that like button. We deeply appreciate that. And if you haven't checked out our shorts, we're doing a lot of short videos now. Please do. They're a lot of fun. And any comments that you can make on our YouTube channel are deeply appreciated, whether they're saying, hey, good job, or hey, you really need to do this or that to improve your game. We're all about improving. We're all about your input. We're doing this channel for you, so please put a comment up there and that would be great. One comment you could put is, do you think someone will catch the first bluefin tuna of the year on January the 1st? And when you hear the weather scenario, that may change that pick, but that's something that you could put. So hit that like button, subscribe, share. We deeply appreciate all you do for us. All right, let's talk about the 8,000-pound elephant in the room, and that's weather. Because our weather right now is pretty good. We got some high surf here, as you can see, and it looks like the rain could start a little bit here more today. Get some sprinkles here and there, and we may get some behind us. Overall, though, it's a gorgeous morning with the sun just coming up, and it is beautiful. However, in our future is some really nasty weather. And we'll start with Tanner Bank, where the bluefin tuna are hanging out right now because of copious amounts of squid. They don't care that the water temperature is cool. They're still there, and they'll probably be there after this blow. But by Saturday afternoon, we're going to get weather, if the forecast holds true, that will extend all the way into about Wednesday out on Tanner Bank, and it will be unfishable if the weather forecast manifests itself as it is prognosticated. And it looks really nasty out there. It's going to start being a little bit breezy. In fact, it's breezy out there today, up there around 12, 15 knots. Not bad. You can fish in that, no problem at all. But again, by Saturday, it's going to be nasty. So that'll carry us right past the New Year's Day, and it's going to be very inclement. So if someone's going to catch the first bluefin tuna of the year, it's going to have to be in another venue if that weather shows up the way it is. About 58-degree water out there, copious amounts of squid, and still plenty of bluefin tuna that want to bite on the 40-pound fluorocarbon. www.optionusa.com. Put in FA at checkout. You'll get a free gift and a love note from owner Greg Brown. Now, I say the 40. In some cases, they're way more finicky than that. And sometimes you got to even drop down to 20-pound with a number 4 size hook. So keep that in mind. You're going to watch that bite. You're going to be observant. You're going to play a part in the whole drama that unfolds before your very eyes. I mean, every single day is different. That's what makes this game so fun. It's an enigma. It's a mystery. And it's your job to unravel it. So you look, and the fish are going insane, and they're biting everything you throw at them. You go to your heavy tackle. You look, and everybody's working hard, and they're choosing good hot baits when you're fishing sardine at least. Man, you got to get your game down in terms of your fluorocarbon pound test and get down a little bit lighter. Fresh dead squid has been the key, and man, there's been a lot of squid being made all over our Southern California coastal and island regions. That is all really good news. So hopefully that is going to continue, because that's a magnet that draws in all kinds of predators, sea bass and yellowtail and halibut, probably for next spring. But what the heck, man? We need that magnet. We've got it, and that should work fine. So I think Tanner Bank is fine in terms of the bluefin tuna staying there with all that squid. I think it's good in terms of it biting. Here comes a little bit of rain. But for right now, that weather is going to get to us starting Saturday afternoon. Should be able to fish right up until then. So you get a half a day in out there, or a little bit more probably, if you were fishing on Saturday, and then it's really going to go to spit. It's going to get nasty out there in that neck of the woods. All right, so we've got that. And by the way, I should say that the weather along the beach here, it's going to get a little bit nasty Saturday night, and then it's going to get really nasty. It comes down around Tuesday on the beaches here, but it's going to get very, very windy and be unfishable also in some of our local zones. So look for a windy New Year's Eve in Southern California, that's for sure. It's got to be windy. It's going to bring in all that goodwill and good fortune and good vibes for 2023, which we expect to be a magnificent year. All right, south of the border down there in the Ensenada area, I'll tell you, a couple of anglers fishing out of blackfin. Doesn't surprise me that they're fishing out of blackfin the way they are. They go down, they catch copious amounts of rockfish. The rockfish bite for blackfin and all the folks down there has been great. And these anglers take their fish back to San Diego and donate it to a church. Wonderful stuff. Man, we can't thank you enough for not only being outdoorsmen and anglers, but for having that generous heart that you have. That is fantastic. And Victor and his wife and the people at Blackfin, same thing. They put on this day for an orphanage that we attended recently that was a day I'll never, ever forget. And you know what? I haven't told you this story. So, you know, when you're down there and you're dealing with kids like that, many times you'll bond with a kid. And George Feldman, who drove down with me, and we took down lots of clothing that you have all donated. George Feldman, man, he hit it off with this kid, and this kid wouldn't leave George's side. And they kept talking and talking and talking. And George called me and he said, hey, I just want you to know that I've kind of adopted that kid. So I'm sending money down every month for that kid that bonded with me and that we just felt a connection. George has already adopted children from Colombia. He's just a really great guy, and I'm proud to call him my friend. I'm proud to call all of you my friends also. People that give back. They give back, and that truly is magnificent. George Feldman and all of you out there, the anglers that donated. There's so many more of you that go across the border with clothing. Phil Capricio, he's a guy, we're loading his yacht up. Actually, he's loaded his yacht up to the point where he doesn't have all that much more room for what we have from his friends, from his business. And Phil is going to make that trip down to Cedros and take clothing and school supplies and so much more. We're going to combine together. And but I'll tell you, this is all Phil Capricio right now. He is doing a great job. So I just had to mention those folks. Back to Blackfin. They're going down the beach. They're fishing the Soledad Bank and several other areas. And it really has been good for the bottom bite down there in that neck of the woods. January the 6th will be at 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California, with a morning trip on board the Monte Carlo. If you want to bring kids, you're more than welcome. No cost. Just send me a text, because we're almost booked up. You want to bring your grandkids, your kids, you have a group of 10 kids that have never been fishing before, and you want to expose them to this. I mean, how can you miss? It's a great thing you could do, and we'll take care of it along with 22nd Street Landing. Send me a text at 657-227-6459. If you'd like info on our raffle, which will be drawn on January the 19th, that helps us fund and fuel all these things that we're doing in Mexico and up here, that would be greatly appreciated. We'll be selling those raffle tickets also the 19th at the landing, where we're going to be providing you with a hot dog and chips and a drink. We're going to have that all for free for you. The way you can help us, if you go on the kids trip, is by buying a raffle ticket, coming to the landing and experiencing a little afternoon with us, buying a raffle ticket. That means if you're having a tough year, you can't afford it, don't worry about it. Nobody's going to ask you, hey, did you buy a raffle ticket? Put that hot dog back. We're not doing that, okay? So, great stuff on the horizon. Along our coastal regions, we're catching rockfish for just about everybody. Anybody going to the islands are catching mostly rockfish. There's good bonita fishing, however, at Catalina Island. Also, Santa Barbara and Cat have had some good halibut and white sea bass fishing for private boaters. Out at San Nicolas Island, copious amounts of nice big viejas, those are sheep's head, along with whitefish and other bottom grabbers in the Channel Islands. And up there in Morro Bay, it has been absolutely outstanding fishing up there in that neck of the woods also. So that is all continuing along our beaches. Our surf has been pretty good. The times we've been down here, of course, man, that day with Eddie Leland was one I'll never, ever forget. Of course, Captain Eddie Leland, battling cancer and prevailing and conquering. And we got him to come down here and surf fish. And while I was doing the morning briefing, he comes up with a beautiful barred perch he caught on a chrome crocodile lure. That was an awesome sight. So some barred perches, they love that cold water. They're around here, as well as a few yellowfin croaker, and you also got rays and guitar fish, all kinds of stuff like that. All right, everybody, we got a great day planned for you at 22nd Street. In the morning, we are going on the Monte Carlo. You're welcome to join us with kids. It's a kids thing, but you can bring the kids and we can all have a great time together. Then we're back in around noontime, leaving at 7:30, back in around noon, and then we have a little landing event going on from 1 to 4 with hot dogs, chips, drinks, knot tying, and all kinds of other great stuff for you. Well, I'll tell you, it's always wonderful to be with you. Man, that sun feels good and it looks gorgeous. It is simply a beautiful day here in Surfside. I hope you are enjoying the holiday season. Once again, I can't thank you enough. We just blew by 1,250,000 views. So we are flying here as we move into the new year. Can't thank you enough, my friends. And as usual, I hope to see you really, really soon.